Are you trying to decide which province to begin your Canadian expansion, and ergo how different it is to do business province to province? Well, if so, consider today's video your complete introduction to just that. Hey, how are you? I'm Duncan McPherson and welcome back to my channel. And as always, if you're a US business trying to survive the Canadian tax jungle, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, or skip the headaches altogether and reach out to me directly at themactax.com for more personalized advice. Now today we're diving into the nuances of you doing business across the Canadian provinces. We'll look at the combined federal provincial tax rates and talk about a few non-tax differences that you absolutely want on your radar. Now, full disclosure, I cannot give you every single stat for every single province in one video. That would be a 3-hour Netflix special, and not even one that you would enjoy, I might add. So just think of this as your framework, your appetizer platter, if you will. And for your specific questions, pick up that phone or email me through themactax.com. Now, let's go with the bad news first. With 10 provinces, this topic can be a little convoluted. But the good news for you, it is still way simpler for you than for us to figure out your 50 states and all those floaters around you. So relax, you've got this. Provincial tax rates. When you're operating in Canada, you'll always want to take a look at the combined federal provincial corporate tax rate. Now, if we're going west to east, here's the lay of the land. Your tax rate in British Columbia is 27%. Your tax rate in Alberta is 23%. Your tax rate in Ontario is 26.5%. Your tax rate in Quebec is also 26.5%. Your tax rate in Nova Scotia is 29%. Now, you must take note that these are combined numbers. Federal plus provincial, because this is where I see US businesses get tripped up. You always hear in the media your US corporate tax rate of 21% being compared to Canada's combined federal provincial tax rates. But listen up, if you're going to compare apples to apples, you have to add your state rate to your federal 21%. And if you're curious, our federal standalone rate is 15%. And yep, you guessed it, our federal rate is actually 6% lower than yours. And you thought we were socialists up here? Okay, now let's discuss research and development tax credits. Like your US states, several provinces in Canada offer incentives for research and development. But here's the kicker. The size of the credit we give you varies dramatically province to province. Here are some examples of combined federal and provincial R&D credits we offer you up here. The R&D credit in BC and Alberta is 25%. The R&D credit in Manitoba is 30%. Your R&D credit in Ontario is 18.5%. Your R&D credit in Nova Scotia is 30%. Now, just bear in mind, most of these are non-refundable, meaning they reduce your taxes owing, but you don't get a check if your tax bill is zero. Believe it or not, though, the credits are carried forward and can be used in future years. And the federal R&D credit on its own, that's 15% FYI. But moving forward now, here's one for you that's uniquely Canadian, the digital media tax credit. Now, if your company creates interactive digital media products, think video games, educational software, or other interactive content, many provinces will pay you to do it up here. So here are the credits available in 3 provinces. In BC, you get a credit of 17.5% of the wages. In Ontario, you get a credit of 40% of wages and marketing costs. In Quebec, you get a credit of 37.5% of the wages. Now, unlike your research and development credits, these credits are often refunded to you, which means if your tax credit is larger than your tax bill, we literally cut you a check. Try getting that out of the IRS. So yes, Canada is basically bribing you to build your gaming studio or digital media company here. Now let's move beyond taxes and into the practicalities of operating across provinces. And pay close attention right now, because this is where US businesses sometimes get blindsided. Number 1, let's take a look at language and culture. In Quebec, you must Parlez Français. You must speak French. It isn't encouraged, it's the law. Your packaging, your signage, and even your website may need French compliance, not optional. In other provinces, you can conduct business in English, actually in any language you want, but bilingual services is always a good look for you. Number 2, employment standards. The termination rules you're subject to vary province to province. For example, Ontario has specific notice and severance rules. You must follow them or you risk a wrongful dismissal lawsuit. But now in Alberta, you're in a more employer-friendly system. But honestly, that's because there's a lot more jobs in Alberta. Gotta love that oil, right? Vacation pay can differ too, where you must pay 2 weeks in most provinces. But Quebec moves you to 3 weeks faster than Ontario does. Number 3, extra provincial registration. Now, did you incorporate in Ontario, but you want to operate in BC? Well, guess what? That means you'll have to register as an extra provincial corporation in BC. You should be aware that every province has its own filing fees and annual return requirements. It's not hard to stay on top of it, but if you ignore it, you could face fines or lose your right to carry on business in that province. Number 4, sales tax. Now, the GST is our federal sales tax, and you need to get used to our sales tax system, which is a little quirky. Our national sales tax is the GST, which is 5%. But when a province harmonizes with the GST, you pay a combined sales tax known as the HST, or harmonized sales tax. In Ontario, you must pay on your purchases a 13% HST, which is actually a 5% federal sales tax plus the 8% provincial sales tax. But when you buy something in Manitoba or Saskatchewan, you will see 2 sales taxes on your invoice. The federal GST plus the provincial PST. This means 2 tax systems for you, 2 sets of rules, and ergo 2 headaches. Number 5, licensing and industry rules. Do you want to sell liquor in Ontario? Well, get ready because you'll need to deal with the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. And the Ontario government owns all the liquor stores in Ontario, but not the beer and wine. In fact, up until recently, the LCBO was your largest customer because the LCBO is the largest liquor buyer on earth. However, currently they are buying nothing from the USA, a retaliation for your tariffs. That was just a little fun fact for you. But now say you want to expand your construction business into Canada. Well, for 9 out of 10 provinces, it'll be relatively easy for you. But if you want to do construction in Quebec, you will need to play by the Régie du bâtiment rules. Each province has its own licensing quirks that can mess up your expansion plans if you are not careful. And this problem gets more entangled when you start looking into environmental and local regulations. Now, it might take you a little while to get set up in BC because BC is notorious for its environmental permitting requirements. But Alberta is much more streamlined and easier for you to get moving there. Just know which province you're in before you break ground. These aren't deal breakers, but they are real. And if you don't plan for them, they'll cost you time and money. So in a nutshell, you understanding these tax rates, incentives, and regional quirks are food for thought as you design your Canadian expansion strategy. Because like I mentioned in the beginning, I can't possibly put everything into one video. And trust me, you wouldn't want me to. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the Canadian tax jungle. And as always, if any of this hit home in a way that you may need immediate attention, make sure you contact me through themactax.com now, and let's get to work. Until next time, stay sharp, stay compliant, and stay out of tax trouble, and I'll see you on the next video.